Această emisiune este sponsorizată de Centrul de Carte Străină Sitka.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are as excited as I am to embark on this incredible learning journey together. My name is Andreea Moldoveanu and I'm absolutely happy to be your teacher this session. I'm a teacher of English at secondary school number 40 and I have been teaching English for more than 12 years. I will introduce my new students, Matei and Evelyn. Hello, Matei.
Hello.
Hello, Evelyn.
Hello.
Okay, so our lesson is entitled My Favorite Books. Okay, so our lesson's objectives are to form language competence in speaking, reading, and to develop listening comprehension, to revise vocabulary on the topic. Of course, we have to develop pupils' attention and reaction, memory, and logical thinking, creative abilities, and talents. Of course, to bring up love for reading, as Matei has, necessity for reading, and to stimulate learners' interest in subject. Evelyn, do you collect books?
Yes, I do collect books. I like to display them in my room because they look good, and I think they make my room more aesthetic.
Matei, how many books have you got at home?
I have a lot. I do not know an exact number, but something between 20 and 35, something.
Evelyn, I didn't ask you, so do you like reading?
Yes, I like reading. It's one of my passions because in my free time I like reading horror books because they're very interesting, such as detective novels and much more.
Thank you. Evelyn, what kind of books do you enjoy reading?
Like I said, detective novels and romance books, they're one of my favorites. They're very intriguing and very interesting.
Matei, what do you think is more important, watching TV or reading?
Both of them are great for your brain. Like, if you see something that you really enjoy on TV, but it's also educational, you should totally watch it.
Evelyn, can you please help translate these words into Romanian? What does it mean, historic
Yes.
novels?
Historic novels means romane istorice.
Science fiction.
Operă științifică ficțională. Fantastică.
Stories about animals.
Povești despre animale.
An encyclopedia.
O enciclopedie.
Legend.
O legendă.
Adventure.
Aventură.
Library.
Bibliotecă.
Character.
Personaj.
Okay, so which one do you like most, Evelyn?
I think I like science fiction most because it's very interesting and has very unusual things.
Okay, thank you, Matei. Let's make a word combination and expressions with novel. Evelyn?
Gothic novels and detective novels.
Gothic novels and detective.
Yes, novels.
What about adventure?
In the spirit of adventure and sense of adventure.
And the other one, can you please repeat?
Sense of adventure.
What about character, Evelyn?
We can say in character and character is Destiny.
Okay, or main character.
Yes.
What about library?
We can have digital library
Yes.
and public library.
Well, as you can notice here, I look up in the dictionary and I found that library is also used in the slang. So it means a toilet, especially in one's house. So we have a humorous reference to the tendency of people to read while sitting down on the toilet. I have found here examples, so I just need to go to the library before we leave. So instead of saying I just need to go to the toilet, you may say I just need to go to the library before we leave. Fill in the gaps. Evelyn, can you please help?
Yes. So the first one we have encyclopedia.
So encyclopedia. Can you please repeat? Encyclopedia.
Encyclopedia.
Okay, next.
Legend. Then we have adventure. Then character. Novels. And historical.
Okay. Okay. Mate, look at the list of book titles and let's match with their authors. If you know, of course. So, Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland. It goes with Lewis Carroll. Robinson Crusoe goes with Daniel Defoe. What?
The Adventures of Tom Sawyer is written by Mark Twain.
Oh,
Evelyn, what about the Jungle Book?
Jungle Book is written by Rudyard Kipling.
Okay. Winnie the Pooh?
By Alan Alexander Milne.
And Treasure Island?
By Robert Louis Stevenson.
Okay. Mate, which one have you read recently?
I have read Robinson Crusoe about 2 or 3 months ago, and Alice in Wonderland, I think, last year.
Mm-hmm. Evelyn, which one is your favorite from this list?
Oh, my favorite is Alice in Wonderland because it's very adventurous and creative, and I really like it.
Mm-hmm. And which one have you read recently?
Recently, I've read Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe, and I liked it very much. I think I've read it about 3 months ago for history.
Okay, thank you. So today we will talk about Alice in Wonderland, about major themes from Alice, and let's comment regarding some quotes from Alice. So the main themes are childhood and adulthood, dreams and reality, the nature of being and not being, and the last theme is the meaning, the words. As you know, Alice in Wonderland has a lot of symbols, like key symbols. But let's talk about the quotes and comment them. Evelyn, what about commenting the first quotation?
1. Alice opened the door and found that it led into a small passage, not much larger than a rat hole. She knelt down and looked along the passage into the loveliest garden you ever saw. How she longed to get out of the dark hall and wander about among those beds of bright flowers and those cool fountains. But she could not even get her head through the doorway.
Okay. What is the theme? So, as you can see, this is the theme of childhood and adulthood. How would you comment this theme?
I think she's very creative and she has a lot of has a great imagination, and she as it says in the quotation, she wanders among the bright flowers and the cool fountains, and I think it's kind of a metaphor.
Okay, let's go further, Evelyn, with the next theme, dreams and reality. So this is a passage from chapter 5, when we can find this theme in Alice in Wonderland. First of all, you have to read it.
Yes. So, it was much pleasanter at home, thought poor Alice, when one wasn't growing larger and smaller and being ordered about by mice and rabbits. I almost wish I hadn't gone down the rabbit hole. And yet, it's rather curious, you know, this sort of life.
So, in this quotation, we find dreams and reality. How would you comment?
Yes. I think dreams and reality, it means that Alice sometimes dreams about certain things, and she wishes that she hasn't had this sort of life, and she also thinks about the way that her life would have been if she hadn't gone down the rabbit hole.
So the third quotation is the third theme. Matei, can you please read and after that to comment?
Yes. What a curious feeling, said Alice. I must be shutting up like a telescope. But I think that Alice is exaggerating a bit in most of her quotations. When Alice is trying to express something, she is very explicit.
Very well. What about you, Evelyn? What do you think about this quotation from Alice?
I think Matei is right, and she sometimes is exaggerating in what she says in the book. But she's also right about certain things because that's what she's feeling in that moment. And like she said in the quotation, what a curious feeling. And she just thinks that she hadn't seen that thing, and it's a very curious feeling and very weird at the same time, I think.
Okay. The last theme, Matei, can you please read?
Yes, I have tasted eggs, certainly, said Alice, who was a very truthfully child. But little girls eat eggs quite as much as serpents. Do you know? I don't believe it, said the pigeon. But if they do, why? Then they're a kind of serpent. That's all I can say.
She's referring to food from the book that she tasted. In the book, she first eats the mushroom pieces that make her enormous. And here she says that he tastes eggs. And she thinks that little girls eat eggs most. And she has a dialogue with the pigeon.
Okay, so let's go further to the key symbols in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. We have the main symbol Alice. Next we have the cat, the Mad Hatter, the Queen of Hearts, Talking Flowers and Plants, the Twins, and Food in Wonderland. Matei, which one would you choose to talk about?
I'm going to choose Alice, the main character, because I think it is the most important thing of the book.
Okay, and you, Evelyn, which key symbol would you choose and why?
I will choose the cat because it's one of the most iconic creatures in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. The Cheshire Cat has a very mischievous grin, and I think it's very sarcastic in the book, and I think I am a little sarcastic, just like the cat, the Cheshire Cat, and I see myself in it sometimes. But in the book, I think we can see that the Cheshire Cat is also very sensitive in some of the scenes.
Okay, so as a conclusion, from the talking animals and tea parties to the strange foods and drinks, every element of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland is filled with symbolism that can be interpreted in a number of ways. So Alice's Adventures in Wonderland is the story of a young girl on a journey of self-discovery as she navigates the strange and unpredictable world of Wonderland. Now, let's check your understanding. Matei, we have to read a sentence and choose the correct answer A, B, C, or D. So.
Okay. 1. Lewis Carroll was a famous author and A. a popular teacher, B. an important photographer, C. a great painter, D. a world traveler. Basically, he was a famous author and an important photographer. 2.
So B, it's the correct answer.
2. What did Alice see on the sides of the tunnel? A. Leaves and flowers. B. Pictures of the White Rabbit. C. Gold keys. D. Maps, pictures, cupboards, and other things. D. Maps, pictures, cupboards, and other things. 3. Who did Alice meet in the pool? A. A dodo bird. B. A mouse. C. A brown dog. D. A parrot. She met with a mouse. Or, what was a caucus race? A race around the pool. A swimming race. C. A race in the woods. D. A race without rules or a purpose. It was D. A race without rules or a specific purpose.
Yes, very well. Evelyn, now it is your turn. Wait a second.
5. What was the blue caterpillar doing? A. It was sitting on a mushroom smoking a pipe. B. It was eating a mushroom and smoking a pipe. C. It was sleeping on a mushroom. And D. It was talking to the Cheshire Cat. The correct answer is A. It was sitting on a mushroom smoking a pipe. 6. The Queen invited the Duchess, A. to watch a croquet game, B. to a tea party in the Queen's garden, C. to play a croquet game, and D. to eat some soup. I think the correct answer is C. to play a croquet game.
C, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
7. Why was the Cheshire Cat strange? A. Because he liked to cook. B. Because he looked like after a baby. C. Because he smiled. And D. Because he sneezed all the time. The correct answer is C. Because he smiled. 8. Where was the tea party? A. In front of the March Hare's house. B. in the hatter's garden, C in the dormouse's house, and that was C, and D in the white rabbit's garden. I think it's A, in front of the March hare's house.
Okay. And I have here the last two questions. Matei?
Okay. Who was on trial? A, the rabbit, the white rabbit. B, the hatter. C, the March hare. D, the knave of hearts. It was D, the knave of hearts. Then, what did the white rabbit read aloud during the trial? A poem. B, a letter. C, an invitation. D, a fairy tale. A poem.
Okay. Evelyn, what was your favorite part of the story?
So my favorite part of the story was definitely when Alice fell down the rabbit hole, and when she decided to eat the food that she was offered to, and she couldn't, she was tempted to try it, so she tried the mushroom pieces that she found that, like I said, made her big. And I think it was very meaningful in the story, because that's explaining basically how everyone is tempted to do something, and we cannot resist when something is offered to us, we feel the temptation of trying new things.
Okay, thank you. So, summarizing, you have to read like 15 minutes per day in order to improve your speaking skills and to develop your brain and, of course, your imagination. Thank you, Matei. Thank you, Evelyn, for being here. You did great. Keep on reading books, because you do it better than last year, than before. And see you next Monday. Thank you for watching, and do not forget to follow us on social media. Goodbye!